I once heard somebody ask, how can you make a sequel to a film called Final Destination? To which all I have to say is, how can you make a sequel to The Final Chapter or The Final Friday? If Jason found a way to come back 2 times, then I'm pretty sure Death can.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Final Destination 2 follows a group of people who have managed to escape death on the freeway once somebody has a premonition, but the Grim Reaper isn't going to let them off that easy. The first time I saw this movie, I was 14 years old, and it scared the shit out of me. I mean, most of the deaths that take place in this movie feel like things that could actually happen, and I mean, I was paranoid up to the point where I was scared to take a water bottle into the car with me. How pathetic is that? Now that I'm an adult, though, I just see it as a fun slasher movie. And yes, I said that correctly, even though death doesn't take a conventional form in this movie, in that it has no physical form, it is about a group of people who are being hunted down and slaughtered mercilessly. And much like Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, death comes right the fuck out of nowhere when the characters least expect it. And when I said that only most of the deaths in this film feel like things that could actually happen, I really meant that, because if you're gonna go into this movie wanting something realistic about these gruesome deaths that could really happen in real life, then you're going to have a bad time. For example, there's a part early on where these logs are rolling off of a truck because their rope just snapped, and instead of just landing on the ground and rolling like they would actually do, they start bouncing like they're coated in flubber. Actually, could you imagine if there was some kind of flubber tie-in, like one of the logs bounces and then goes up into the clouds? 30 minutes later, one of the characters is just walking down the sidewalk minding their own business when that log comes down, smashes the fuck out of them, and then disappears again? This would have been the best movie ever. As far as the characters go, I do like how they sort of mix things up in this movie by giving you a wider age range to follow. I mean, the main characters that the plot mostly focuses on are still just these good-looking 20-somethings, but you've also got like a school teacher, you've got a drug-addicted burnout, you've got a mother and her son, and in regards to the son, don't worry, he's not like toddler age. I feel like that would have been a little extreme even for these filmmakers. There's also a really fun cameo by Tony Todd in this movie. He also appeared in the first movie as the same character. He's essentially just there to kind of spout exposition and help the characters along with their journey, and he's really over the top and enjoyable to watch. Now, one thing I kind of have mixed feelings about is the dialogue in this movie. There are just a lot of really corny lines, which, on one hand, they kind of add to the fun slasher movie vibe, but on the other hand, sometimes the dialogue just gets really stupid. Like, there's one point where a character asks, "When I die, is it going to hurt?" It depends on how you die. How the fuck is anyone supposed to know that? One thing I don't really like, though, is how this film goes to unnecessary lengths to connect itself to the first film. I mean, it wouldn't make sense if this didn't take place in the same universe as Final Destination 1. They can make mentions of that plane crash and everything, that's fine, but there's a scene where it's revealed that apparently each of the main characters are in some way connected to the main characters who are in the first film. Like, this person would have died if it wasn't for that person, and that person wouldn't have died if it wasn't for this person, and it's just kind of convoluted and dumb. Overall, Final Destination 2 is a fairly enjoyable movie. If you're a fan of the slasher subgenre and you're a sick bastard like me who just wants to see a bunch of people get knocked off in creative ways, then this film does come recommended, and with that, I hope you all have a good one.